Assalamualaikum and very good morning, girls. Okay, let's not wasting our time. Today we are going to learn the new chapter, which is chapter 8, respiratory systems and in humans and animals. Okay, so in this chapter there is a 4 subtopic. Okay, today we are going to cover 8.1 types of respiratory systems. Okay, take a look on the learning standards that you are going to cover for today. Okay, pupils are able to, number 1, identify respiratory structures in insects, fish, amphibians, and also humans. Okay, the second one, describe the adaptation of respiratory structures and their function for gases exchange in animals and also humans. Okay, so these are the 2 learning standards that we are going to cover for today. Okay, respiratory structures and their adaptation for gases exchange. Okay, first, all living organisms have a respiratory system for breathing and gases exchange to supply oxygen and also to remove carbon dioxide from the body cells. Okay, so that is the purpose of the respiratory system. Yeah, for breathing and for the gases exchange to supply oxygen and remove carbon dioxide from the body cells. Okay, different organisms have different respiratory structures for breathing. Right? Okay, and then third one, exchange of gases occurs at the respiratory surface of respiratory structure. Okay, I repeat, exchange of the gases occurs at the respiratory surface. Yeah, respiratory surface of the respiratory structure. Okay, so take a look on the examples below. Here, organism. So we are going to cover insects, fish, frog, and also human. Okay. So the respiratory structure for the insect is tracheal system, and the respiratory surface for the tracheal system is tracheoles. Right? Okay. So respiratory surface is referred to the surface whereby the gases exchange occur. Yeah, the gases exchange occur for the insects occur in the tracheoles, and the respiratory structure is referred to the tracheal system. Okay, for the fish, the respiratory structure is gill, gills ataupun insang, and the respiratory surface for the gill is gill filament. Right? Okay, for the frog, the respiratory structure is skin and lungs, and the respiratory surface also skin and lung. Okay, for the human, the respiratory structure is lung. Yeah, lungs. Okay, and then the respiratory surface is alveolus or alveoli. Yeah, alveoli is referred to the plural. Alright, okay, so these are examples of the respiratory structure and also respiratory surface. Okay, respiratory structure and their adaptation for gases exchange. Alright, okay, so we have to know the concept of the total surface area first. Right, okay, so the ratio of the total surface area to volume or TSA per V depends on the size of the organism. Alright, okay, so why we have to know the concept of the TSA per V? Because it will depend on the gases exchange occur. Alright, okay, the bigger the size of the organism, the smaller the ratio of total surface area to volume. Okay, please understand this concept. The bigger the size, the smaller the TSA per V. Right? Okay, the smaller the size of the organism, the larger the TSA per V, the ratio of the TSA per V. Alright, okay, make sure you can understand that. In the large and complex organism, the volume of the body that requires oxygen will increase more than its total surface area. Right? Okay, the large organism require a special respiratory structure for the efficient exchange of gases. Okay, why? Yeah, why the large organism need a special respiratory structure? Because their TSA per V is the ratio of the TSA per V is very small, right? Okay, why they are small? Because the large organism has a bigger size. So when the size of the organism is bigger or larger, so the ratio of the total surface area to volume will become smaller, and the rate of the gases exchange will become small. So that's why the large organism require a special respiratory structure for the efficient exchange of gases. Alright, okay, make sure you can understand the concept of the TSA per V, or the total surface area to the volume ratio. Yeah? Okay, we go to the adaptation of respiratory structures for efficient exchange of gases in big organism. Yeah, in big organism. Okay, large ratio of total surface area to volume, TSA per V. Yeah. Okay, large ratio of total surface area to volume for efficient exchange of respiratory gases. Okay, this is the first. This is referred to the first adaptation. What is the first adaptation? Have a large ratio of total surface area to volume. Right? Okay. Next, a thin respiratory structure that is one cell thick. Alright, a thin respiratory structures that is one cell thick that allow the division of the respiratory gases to occur. Okay, so first one, I repeat, it has a large TSA per V, and then the second one, the respiratory structure is thin and only one cell thick. The surface of the respiratory structure is always moist. Yeah, okay, always moist. Okay, for what? To dissolve the respiratory gases easily. And last one, the respiratory structure is complete with a network of blood capillaries, except for insects that allow for efficient delivery of the respiratory gases. Okay, so these are referred to the four adaptation of the respiratory structure in the large organisms. Yeah. Okay, what is the purpose? The adaptation for efficient exchange of the gases. Alright, okay. Okay, now we move to the insect respiratory structures and its adaptation. Alright, okay, so this is referred to the insect. Okay, the insect example of the insect is grasshopper. So we are going to discuss the respiratory structure of the grasshopper. Okay, so this is referred to the tracheal system in a grasshopper. The tracheal system, as I said before, is the respiratory structures of the insect. Right? Again, then the respiratory surface for the tracheal system is tracheole. Okay. Okay, this one is referred to the trachea. Yeah, trachea. Okay, a network of the trachea. Okay, and then if we close up, okay, so this is referred to the spiracle. Okay, spiracle is referred to the pores, yeah, or opening, yeah, whereby the oxygen and carbon dioxide move in and out, right? Okay, and then this one referred to the trachea, yeah, trachea, and at the end of the trachea there is a tracheole. Right? Okay, so this is referred to the tracheole. And this one is referred to the body cells. Okay, so the exchange of the gases occur between the tracheole and the body cells. So that's why the respiratory surface for the tracheal system is tracheole. It is a place whereby this is the part whereby the gases exchange occur. Right, so this is referred to the explanation of the respiratory structure of insect, which is referred to the tracheal system. Okay, so there are small pores in the thorax and abdomen of insect called spiracles. Okay, so small pores in the thorax and abdomen of insect called spiracle. Yeah? So there is a lot of the spiracle on the thorax and abdomen of the insect. Spiracle is referred to the pores or an opening, yeah, whereby the air moves in and out. The spiracle allows the intake of air into the air tube system, which is called as tracheal system. So this is referred to the air tube system, which is referred to the tracheal system. Yeah, tracheal system. The trachea branch out to find a tube called tracheole. Yeah, the trachea. This one referred to the trachea. The trachea will branch out. Yeah, will branch out to form tracheole. So the tracheole is the respiratory surface. Okay, the tracheole has the following characteristic that allow for efficient respiratory gases exchange. Okay, so what is the tracheole characteristics? A large number of the tracheoles provide a large total surface area for the exchange of the gases. Okay, a large number of tracheoles. Okay, then the tracheal wall is thin and moist. Okay, this allows oxygen gas to diffuse into the cells while carbon dioxide quickly diffuse out of the cell into the tracheole. Some insects have air sacs in their tracheal system. Okay, this sac is filled with the air to speed up the delivery of the respiratory gas during active body movements. Alright, okay. So that is referred to the tracheal system. Alright, so this one is referred to the pathway of air through the tracheal system. Okay, so the air enters through the spiracles. Yeah, okay, the air contains of the oxygen will enter into the network of the trachea, and it will enter to the tracheole. So in the tracheole, the exchange of the gases occur whereby the oxygen enter into the body cells for cellular respiration, and then the carbon dioxide is diffused out from the body cells into the tracheole. And then from the tracheole, the carbon dioxide moves the trachea and then will remove out through spiracles. Okay, so make sure you can know the pathway of air in the tracheal system. Okay, now we move to the fish respiratory structures and its adaptation. Okay, yeah, for the fish, right? Okay, so the fish, the respiratory structure of a fish is gills. Yeah, gills. Yeah, make sure you can know what is the respiratory structure of fish. Okay, which is gills. Gills inside the operculum here. Yeah, inside the operculum. Okay, the gills are made up of a line of the filament that is supported by the gill arch. Alright, so this is referred to the gill. Okay, the whole thing here is the gill. Gill is inside the operculum. Okay, when we open the operculum, we can see four pairs of gills. Yeah, for the left side and also for the right side. Okay, gills. So gills consist of the gill arch. So this is referred to the gill arch. So this is referred to the gill filament. Right? Okay, gill filament. So the respiratory surface for the gill is gill filament. Alright, okay, so when we close up inside the filament, yeah, so this refers to the filament. So what is inside the filament? There is a small and thin projection called as lamellae. Lamellae is the plural, lamella is the singular. So consists of the lamella. Inside the lamella, there is a ridge of blood capillaries. Yeah, blood capillaries. Yeah. So, as this is referred to the structure of the gills. Okay, I repeat. The whole thing here is gill. Yeah, gill consists of the gill arch, gill filament, right? Okay, in the filament, okay, when we close up in the filament, okay, we can see here there is a small thin projection. Yeah, thin projection called as lamella. So a lamella with the capillary networks whereby the gases exchange occur here. So the respiratory surface for the gill is gill filament, right? Okay, gill filament. Okay, the following characteristics of the filament enable the rapid exchange of the respiratory gases. Okay, now we take a look on the characteristic of the filament. Yeah, for the filament. So the filament has many thin and flat projection called lamella. Yeah, alright. So I already explained about the lamella, right? It is a thin and flat projection on the lamellae. Yeah, on the filament. Okay, next, number two, a large number of the filament and lamellae give a large total surface area for an efficient gases exchange process. Yeah, a large number. A large number of what? Filament and also lamellae. And the lamellar membrane is thin, right? The membrane is thin. The lamella is supplied with many blood capillaries for easy absorption and transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is also referred to the fish respiratory structures. Alright, so I think we will end here and then we will continue in the next lesson. Alright, okay, make sure you can understand and please read again and again until you do understand. Okay, so that's all. Thank you, everyone.